All right, this is John Brass from RunMichigan.com talking to Clint Verran down here at the 2012 Olympic Trials, and this is Clint's fourth trials to run in. He ran in 2000, 2004, 2008, now 2012. Got to be exciting to be back here for a fourth Olympic Trials.
Yeah, it's really exciting because I almost didn't make it here. I actually qualified 6 weeks ago in California. I ran a 2:18.56. The standard was 2:19 flat, so barely made it here. And so coming here and running was just like icing on the cake, really, for me.
Yeah, how'd that race go out at Cal International for you?
Well, it was a perfect day, honestly. The weather was perfect, the course was perfect. My training had been hampered by a lot of injuries and different surgeries and whatnot, but I pulled it all together and ran like one of the toughest races of my life just to qualify to get here. So, like I said, coming here on 6 weeks of training was my expectations weren't that high, so I'm satisfied with the way things went today.
Yeah, it looked like I know you ran right around 2:22 out there, so still a solid time out there for the marathon. And with, like you said, with 6 weeks of training, that had to be feel good at least to be able to come back and run that kind of a time out there.
It was in the ballpark of what I thought I could do. I thought maybe on a good day I could run 2:19, but I was roughly 1:10 halfway, and then my pace kind of eroded after that. Again, I've been dealing with a couple different injuries, calf issues, so I felt like I really had one gear out there and just put it in that gear, and it was 5:15 at the start and 5:30 at the end, so averaged out to 5:25 per mile, and I'll take it for now. It's I'm not ready to give up yet. I've got some years left in me. I'm encouraged by the fact that 2 out of the 3 Olympians on the men's side are 33 and over. Meb, Keflezighi, and Abdi. So I feel like I've got some running left in my legs.
And as we were just talking a minute ago, it's got to be interesting for you to look from 2000 now to 2012, the difference in the race itself, the quality of the field, all that. So
it really makes me happy to see the way the sport has evolved since 2000. In 2000, we had one qualifier for the Olympics. Rod DeHaven ran 2:15 at the trials and was first. And now we've got 3 guys running 2:09 at the trials. And just the scope of the sport. We had a 2-hour feed on NBC today. And just the sport in general has been elevated both on the men's and women's side. And it's really exciting to see that because it's a sport that I really love.
And what do you think of the trials hosting both the men's and women's race down here at the same time, basically just a 15-minute start time difference?
I want to say it was a huge success. And I would also want to say that it's got to be the standard going forward, in that if you're a marathon fan, if you're a distance running fan in general, you want to come and see the Olympic trials. You don't want to pick men versus women. And the folks that I talked to that were spectating the course today said it was an amazing show. That standing outside on the marathon course, they got to see so much action from the men and from the women that it seems like it's the way to go. So I think that Houston today set a standard that is going to have to be upkept, because to go back to separate sites, it's going to be a major letdown. I think if you're a fan of the sport, that today was a huge positive, and you have to be excited about the way things are going to go in the future.
And I know you just had 2 marathons in a short period of time, so I assume you're not going to do one for at least a little while, right?
That's right. I was going to say that I've sworn off marathons for 2012 in general, because I've run 2 in 6 weeks. And then talking to some folks earlier tonight, they reminded me about California International in December of 2012, and I really, really liked that course and that race. So maybe someone can talk me into running another marathon at the end of the year in December, but I think I want to focus on maybe some shorter distances, some half marathons and whatnot for the near future.
And I know when you're not doing this, you have your own physical therapy practice, so it's got to keep you busy too, right?
That keeps me busy, and obviously family life. I've got a 3-year-old at home, a little girl, Kate Marie, and she keeps me on my toes. So I'm going to be busy no matter what I do, and I try to fit my training in when I can, but luckily my wife's very understanding, Christy. She gives me a pretty long leash to go out and do the training that I need to do, and I would like to do some things to surprise some people in 2012. I want to say that in distance running, that's kind of like ultimately the goal. Is you hope to run some races and exceed expectations. When it comes down to it, if you're an Olympian and you go and win some races, I think people are like expecting you to win those races. But in this sport, what people are looking for is someone to perform in such a way that they surprise other people, and that's what I want to do in 2012. Is maybe potentially run a half marathon PR, potentially run some faster times at some shorter distances, and just get a little break from marathoning for a while.
And I guess one last question for you. What are your thoughts about seeing another Hanson Brooks runner make the Olympic team? That's got to be exciting too, huh?
It's totally awesome. Dez's run today, we expected it. Honestly, I was actually surprised that she got second. I've just seen her in training. I've seen how strong she is. I know what an animal she is, and it just is a testament to how good this Shalane Flanagan is to be able to hang in there and to be able to kick at the end. But if you watch the race footage, Des dictated the pace most of the race. It was kind of windy out there today, so she can take comfort in knowing that the two Olympians that have medaled for the United States in the past 8 years, both were second at the Olympic trials. Meb Keflezighi and Dina Castor were both second in the Olympic trials and ended up taking silver and bronze in the Olympics. So sky's the limit for Des. I think she's going to keep it up for a long time to come.
All right, Clint. Well, thank you for the interview, and great job out there on qualifying for your 4th trials and making it out here today. So.
All right.